If you're MAGA and your neighbors don't agree with you, get new neighbors. Don't.
Hey folks, I'm Tennessee Brando for MeidasTouch, and unfortunately I have a clip of Steve Bannon for you. Yeah, it's pretty disgusting as always, but now Steve Bannon says that if you're a MAGA and your neighbors are not, then you need new neighbors. I don't know if he means you need to move out of the neighborhood or you need to run the neighbors out of the neighborhood, but according to Bannon, liberals and progressives are the last people you ever want to invite to a barbecue because we might come dressed in drag or we might try to groom your children. And of course, he hits all the talking points that MAGA loves to hit. But if you'll notice, MAGA always tries to play the both sides argument, and they always accuse us of having this relentless attack on them. They always say that we are relentlessly after Donald Trump. Well, Donald Trump relentlessly commits crime after crime after crime, and we're simply trying to hold him accountable. They always like to say that we live in an echo chamber and that we're just over here parroting our own talking points. But I got to thinking, we've never called for a national divorce. I don't ever remember us saying that we wanted to divorce our fellow Americans, and they say they don't even want to be neighbors with us. They're just simply doubling down on their rhetoric harder and harder, and they're projecting upon us. But take a look at this ridiculous clip of Steve Bannon, and then we'll come back and talk more about it.
If you're MAGA and your neighbors don't agree with you, get new neighbors. Don't. Oh, what do you mean? You're going to go have a barbecue? And oh yeah,
Yes.
let me hear you got. Let me hear about putting the little boys in dresses. Let me hear about grooming the kids. Let me hear about the invasion of the southern border. Let me hear about destroying the U.S. dollar.
Exactly.
What's
What's
to
more
agree
important,
with?
folks?
Hey, how about this? Tell me. Here's what you do. Say, hey, suck on this. I'm MAGA and you're not. And we're winning.
Yeah, he actually said suck on this. The MAGA Republicans, who originally they were the party of morals and values, they've came a long way from that. I remember back in the very first election I ever voted in, it was the Al Gore versus George W. Bush election. That's the first time I ever voted. And I remember a couple of weeks before the election, I bumped into one of my aunts in town. And she said to me, she said, oh, so are you going to vote in this election? I said, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's the first presidential election I ever voted in. She said, well, who are you voting for? I knew she wasn't going to like my answer, but I said to her, I said, well, I'm voting for Al Gore. And she said, oh, no, you can't do that. She said, see, Bill Clinton's immoral. And we need a good moral man with Christian values in the White House. And George W. Bush is just that. He's a Christian with a lot of good values, and he'll restore, decency to the White House. That's what we need. If you vote for Al Gore, he'll just carry on Bill Clinton's immorality. And I was like, well, I think Bill Clinton was a good president. We argued about it, of course. But she's like, no, really, you need to vote for the guy that's got the best morals. Fast forward years later, I'm talking to her again about Donald Trump and how immoral he is. And she reminds me that, well, God does sometimes call immoral people to do his work. Sometimes, God called King David. God called the Apostle Paul, and he was murdering Christians. So, hey, let's just ride it out. Maybe God has called Trump now. That's how far they've come. They were the party of morals and values. Now they're the party of suck on this. We don't want you at our cookout. That's where we're at today. But if they want to accuse us of being an echo chamber, I'll just say this. Yeah, we're in an echo chamber. We're in an echo chamber with the truth, with logic, with facts, with science, and with reason. And I'll stay over here in this echo chamber, and we'll just echo those sentiments back and forth to each other. And they can stay over there in their echo chamber with nothing but conspiracy theories and bullshit and lies and racism and homophobia and hatred of all kinds. And they can echo that stuff till they run out of breath for all I care. But the next time someone says to me, well, we really need to have a both sides argument here. No, why would I? You guys call for a national divorce. You guys are saying that if I'm your neighbor, you don't want me at your cookout. So why should any of us be nice to you? I love Michelle Obama. Don't get me wrong. I'm a huge Michelle Obama fan. I would vote for Michelle Obama tomorrow. But, when she said, when they go low, we go high, they stay low. That's as far as they can get. They're going to always be low. There's no going high with those people. You can't go high with people like that. It's impossible. They know no low. We've determined that there's no low they won't go to. There's nothing they won't say. And if we ever try to corner them with anything, they just double down. Try reasoning with a MAGA Republican, see what happens. They double down. Try pointing out something they said was racist or homophobic. They double down. Try pointing out that the conspiracy theory that they're cooking up is bullshit. They'll just double down. To the point that you're no longer invited to the cookout. Well, I'll be honest with you folks, if that's the kind of cookout we were going to be going to, I don't want to go either. So it's sad to say that we're at this point in this country where we can't even sit down and break bread together, but I guess it's where we're at. Because if I'm just going to be attacked at the cookout for being a socialist, a communist, and all the other ist in the world, then I guess I'll just stay over here and cook out with my own kind of people, I guess. I don't know. But that's where we're at. We went from we need a man with morals and values to suck on this. We don't want you to cook out. So that's what Donald Trump did to the Republican Party. He completely hijacked it. He completely rebranded it. And he brought out the worst in everybody. All the things that we thought were put to bed, all the things we thought maybe were just, he kind of had this little glimmer of hope for people that maybe they weren't. You'd hear him say things that was borderline racist. And you had hope that maybe they didn't mean it or maybe they were just uneducated. No, they meant it. And they're going full speed ahead with it. So I would love to have a cookout with anybody here at MeidasTouch. We'll grill out and have a good one. I'm actually pretty good on the grill. So we can do that anytime. And I don't know if we'd invite Steve Bannon or not, but I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. I've definitely enjoyed making it. And you guys keep tuning in here on MeidasTouch. Hit that subscribe button. Let everyone know where we're at, because we're the fastest growing news network in the country, and I'm proud to be part of it. So until next time, you guys keep tuning in, and I'll keep telling you the truth.
Hey Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram at MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.